If you're over 60, there's a harsh truth about clothing that most men learn too late. When a shirt looks tired on a 25-year-old, it looks casual. When a shirt looks tired on a 65-year-old, it looks like you've stopped paying attention. That's not fair, but it's real. And the market counts on it because the biggest trap in men's shirts isn't price. It's the idea that price automatically buys quality. Most premium shirts today are priced like craftsmanship, but built like disposable retail, then dressed up with a logo, a story, and a marketing budget, big enough to make you doubt your own eyes. So today we're closing that gap. 5 shirts that consistently make men over 60 look cheaper than they are, and 5 categories that actually hold up, where the money reaches the fabric, the collar, and the seams. And I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm giving you tests you can use in a store, in your closet, or on the product page before you spend $1. Let's start with the first category that quietly ruins more wardrobes than anything else. The office prestige dress shirt that's built for the first impression, not the 50th wash. You know the type. It feels smooth in the store. It looks sharp under bright lights. And then within a year, sometimes sooner, the collar starts collapsing. The points curl. The neckline gets that soft, drooping shape that makes even a clean shave and a fresh haircut look like they're fighting uphill. That collar failure is not normal wear. It's construction. Most of these shirts use fused collars, an interlining glued inside with heat and adhesive. It's efficient. It's cheap. And it looks fine until repeated cleaning breaks the bond. Then the collar becomes one limp piece, instead of a structured frame for your face. Over 60, the collar is not a detail. It's the frame. If the frame looks weak, everything looks weaker. The warning sign is simple. Pinch the collar edge between 2 fingers and roll it. If it feels like a single stiff board at first, but then starts feeling like a wrinkly sheet as it ages, that's fusing. If it feels papery and flat from the beginning, that's usually low-grade fusing. Either way, it's a predictable failure. Now, category number 2 to avoid. The Heritage logo polo that's priced like a classic but wears like a souvenir. This is where men get hit twice. First by brand loyalty, then by inconsistency, because in this category, you're often paying for a symbol that used to mean something, while the shirt underneath is produced across multiple factories, multiple quality standards, and multiple fabric outcomes at the same retail price. So 2 polos can look identical on the hanger, but one pills early, the other holds up. Over 60, pilling isn't a small annoyance. It's visible at conversational distance. It gathers around the collar, the chest, the cuffs, exactly where people look. And polos are especially unforgiving because the knit structure lifts fiber ends more easily than a woven dress shirt. When cotton quality is mediocre, the surface breaks down faster. The result is that fuzzy, tired texture that makes the entire shirt look older than it is. Here's the simplest reality. If the brand won't tell you what cotton it's using, it isn't using cotton worth bragging about. Category number 3 to avoid. The value rack button-down that's built around blends. Blends are sold as a practical upgrade. Easier care, less wrinkles, more durability. But durability isn't what you want if the fabric fails aesthetically. In blended shirts, when the fibers break under friction, the synthetic fibers often hold the pills on the surface instead of shedding them. So the shirt doesn't just age, it accumulates ugliness. And if you're over 60, clothing doesn't get judged only on whether it's intact. It gets judged on whether it looks intentional. A blended shirt that looks permanently slightly off makes you look like you're settling category number 4. The designer discount shirt. The one that looks like a bargain, because the tag says it used to be expensive. This is one of the most dangerous purchase decisions for older men because it feels like you're winning. But discount designer is frequently where brands protect their image while moving product built to a different standard. The pricing is high enough to feel prestigious, but the construction often stays at baseline. Wide stitch spacing, bulky seams, flimsy buttons, and collars that lose shape quickly. And you can see it if you know where to look. Flip the shirt inside out. Look at the side seams. If the stitching looks thick and raised, if the seam allowances are wide and uneven, if the inside looks like it was built to be hidden, not built to be clean, that shirt is telling you exactly how it expects to live. Short, loud, and replaced. Category number 5. The special fabric shirt that's actually just a marketing label. Performance this, easy care that, luxury touch. If there's no real specification, no fabric origin, no weave type you can verify, no clear construction language, then you're buying adjectives, and adjectives don't survive laundering. Now, that's what to avoid. Here's what to buy instead. The categories that make men over 60 look sharper, cleaner, more expensive, and more put together without you needing a stylist, without you needing trends, and without you needing a closet full of options. First, the mass market winner is simple: transparency plus honest construction. Look for brands that clearly state weave type: poplin, twill, Oxford, herringbone, plus fiber content, plus collar type. Not poetic descriptions. Actual facts. When a brand shows you those details, it's doing something most of the market avoids: inviting comparison. That matters more than a logo. Second, if your body no longer matches the standard shirt block, and for most men over 60, it doesn't, the biggest upgrade you can buy is fit precision, because even a great fabric looks cheap when the shoulders pull, the collar gapes, and the sleeves twist. A well-fit shirt reduces strain points, which reduces wrinkling and distortion, and it changes how the entire garment reads. Not fashionable, competent. If you can get made to measure, or at least brands that offer multiple fits with real measurements, you immediately stop fighting your own clothing. Third, invest in collar integrity. You want a collar that holds its shape because it's built to hold its shape, not because it's glued into stiffness. The gold standard is a floating interlining, stitched, not fused, because it lets the layers move and recover instead of cracking down over time. Not every good shirt will have it, and you can still buy fused collars that behave well, but the point is this: the collar should be treated as a structural component, not a decorative flap. Fourth, pay attention to stitch density and seam quality. Here's why. Seams are where shirts fail first: underarm stress, side seams, cuff edges. A higher stitch density with clean single needle seams isn't luxury theater. It's engineering. It resists stress, it lays flatter, it looks cleaner, and it holds shape longer. And on an older man, clean lines do more work than bold branding ever will. Fifth, buy fabric that ages quietly. You want long staple cotton when possible. You want smooth weaves for dress shirts, poplin and twill that maintain surface integrity. You want knits that don't fuzz up early. And if you're buying polos, you want consistency. Brands that control quality instead of scattering production and hoping the logo covers the differences. Now, here's the part that gives you real power. 2 tests. The first is the collar pinch test. Pinch the collar edge and feel whether the layers behave like separate materials or one glued slab. Then flex it. If it feels like it wants to crease and stay creased, that collar will age fast. The second is the inside-out test. Turn the shirt inside out. A quality shirt looks disciplined on the inside. Clean seams, even stitching, no sloppy threads, no bulky ridge lines that feel like rope under your fingers. Because the outside is what you're sold, the inside is what you bought. If you remember only one principle from this entire video, remember this: price is not a signal. Brand recognition is not a signal. The reliable signals are specific and verifiable: fabric composition, weave type, collar construction, seam quality, stitch density, and whether the brand is willing to put real information on the page before you pay. If a shirt makes you look sharper at 60, it's not because it screams. It's because it holds its shape, stays clean, and looks intentional after time has done its work. And once you start buying that way, you stop looking like someone paying for a logo and start looking like someone who understands clothing.